An unexplained limp in which Donald Trump drags his right leg is generating a series of new health fears about Donald Trump just after the very strange bruising on his hand was written off as coming from shaking people's hands by the White House, an explanation that, of course, none of us believed even for a second. Now, over the weekend, we're going to look at various videos. Donald Trump was filmed at Mar-a-Lago, and something seemed very, very off. As he stepped out of a golf cart, people noticed that something seemed up with that right leg, that Trump regularly drags that right leg in a way that seems strange. It's stiff, it's awkward, like he's pulling it instead of walking normally. And this is not just a one-off moment as far as Trump is concerned. There's another video from an event with Lara Trump, Lara, in which Donald Trump similarly is sort of dragging that right leg and shifting around and trying to swing it rather than moving the leg under its own motion. And a lot of people looking at this extraordinarily closely. Now, of course, the internet immediately exploded and said, what's wrong with this guy's legs? He's moving it like it's made of wood. It's not normal. And it is absolutely the case that this is something that's been going on for a little while. Now, the immediate suggestions were, is this a neuromuscular issue? Is it drop foot? Is it nerve damage? Is it possible that Trump simply needs a hip replacement? And so because of the lack of strength in the ability to lift that leg itself using the femur, is he sort of using his body weight, substantial as it might be, to try to use momentum to swing the leg around? We don't know. Now, remember that Donald Trump also almost fell on the ground when he was trying to open a truck door in an incident during the campaign. And you similarly see that his control over that right leg seems quite limited. Ron Filipkowski put together this video where you see the strange behavior of that right leg in a bunch of different scenarios. And something here does seem to be going on. Now, oh boy, possible causes, as always, we are left to speculate. There's that right leg dragging once again as Trump brings pizza to firefighters. We have a total lack of transparency about Trump's health. Could it be a stroke or a mini stroke that explains this? Is it neuropathy or nerve damage? Is it drop foot, also known as peroneal nerve dysfunction? Could these be the early signs of Parkinson's? Is it as simple as osteoarthritis or a knee problem? A spinal issue? Myasthenia gravis? Is it gout? Could it be cognitive decline affecting motor function? We have no idea. Now, if Donald Trump's team were honest, they would just tell us what's going on. But the secrecy fuels the speculation. And of course, much like with the bruise on Donald Trump's hand, we know Trump's age. We can sort of make a guess about his weight. There's this history of odd public movements. This could be a big deal. It could be a temporary injury that's being hidden. It could be a near hip replacement that he needs but doesn't want to get. And it would be nice if the same people who screamed about Biden's age actually cared about Donald Trump's physical status. They don't seem to. Now, let me back up just a moment. Many of you will recall that both left and right-wing commentators speculated at the start of Donald Trump's term, which was just 5 weeks ago, something like 5-6 weeks ago, speculated that a Trump health event would be the defining political moment of 2025. And I have to tell you, just 5 or 6 weeks into this term, we have a number of unexplained medical situations. We have the right leg drag now, which is something that we're trying to figure out. What are the oranges of that? We have the very strange bruising on Trump's hand. And with all of it, the Trump medical records are so limited that we can't look at those and say, oh, you know what? In his medical record, he says he takes X medication. X medication can cause this. Or Donald Trump is on a blood thinner. The blood thinners can cause easy bruising. That explains the bruise. We don't have any of that because despite Trump claiming and Caroline Leavitt claiming and everybody around Trump claiming this is the most transparent administration we've ever had, we know very little about what's going on with Trump's body, which he claims is some incredible physical specimen. Well, tell us about it then. Tell us about it. We'd like to know. Until that time, we are only left to speculate about what is causing these bizarre physical appearances. By now, you've probably heard about DeepSeek. It's now the #1 app on most app stores, but every conversation you have with DeepSeek is stored on Chinese servers and subject to Chinese censorship. If you want to try DeepSeek without sharing all your conversations with Beijing, then let me recommend our sponsor, Venice AI. Venice.ai is a generative AI platform. It's private and it's permissionless, and they utilize leading open source AI models to deliver text, code, and image generation right to your web browser. No downloads, no installations of anything, and they offer a version of DeepSeek that's private and without censorship. China's not the only problem. ChatGPT has the former director of the NSA sitting on their board right now. Do we think our conversations are private with American AI companies? We also know that these companies program their AIs to give only certain kinds of answers. I love that Venice.ai doesn't spy on you, doesn't censor anything. Messages are encrypted. Your conversation history is stored only on your browser. Enjoy private, uncensored AI. Go to venice.ai/Pacman and use the code Pacman to get 20% off a pro plan. The link is in the description.